That works. Let's do it.
What you can't see here, and we'll go look at some of the video.
Okay.
Is completely redesigned front nose section. Avionics are all different. Some new redundant systems that we didn't have previously, such as a flight control computer, a dual battery system now, and a what they call EGI, or electronically guided instrumentation. It's all your GPSs and also Doppler radar for the aircraft to navigate across the Earth.
Okay.
So that feeds into most of the aircraft what we call multifunction displays. So the biggest improvements to the airframe, and by the loud noise you can hear, is the 4 multifunction display computers that run all the flight information, to include moving map and other tactical information that we have, such as some of the information systems regarding surface air missiles and other stuff.
What did this look like in the old?
I can actually show you on the aircraft right across. So basically, smaller instrument panel with 4 multifunction displays, an emergency instrumentation center, so if we lose all that, we still have capability to fly.
I see.
And then what we call a flight management system, which is another computer that all the data runs through, and that's on the center console between the 2 pilots. Each one has a system that's redundant, so they each can control the aircraft from that station. Come look at the old aircraft. We lovingly refer to them as steam gauges. You can see each instrument has its own instrument display, and each one of those instrument displays is hooked up to its own individual system.
Okay.
And some of them are shared between both the pilot and the co-pilot side. All the lighting for the emergency panels, the systems information, everything was more of a piecemealed system. As we increased technology, stuff was added to the aircraft that was not originally designed into it. So it moves a lot of the aircraft systems and radios and navigation equipment, and makes it a little more difficult for us to be able to manage a cockpit, compared to now it's all in 2 locations. The multifunction displays for your visual, and then on the FMS where it's in one central location for you to enter all your...
How old is this?
This aircraft specifically was built in 1986. This is the 86 production model.
Okay.
I would say it probably was originally started in 1984-85 timeframe, and finalized, came out of the factory.
So this is what you have been using.
Yes. So
are you switching entirely over to those types now?
That is correct, yeah. That is, we are replacing all of the Blackhawks you see in this hangar. Will all be replaced shortly with 20 new Mike models coming right out of the factory. We pick up our second one, in fact, in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
We're supposed to get a full complement of 20 of them. They're brand new production lines. That's a 2015 model. Literally came out of the factory about 3 months ago.
Okay.
Again, you'll see the biggest thing is this aircraft, avionics and everything, is about $11.2 million worth of avionics in that new airframe compared to this one. It's a much different price tag, but it's so much safer, better well-equipped, and protects the crews. And also that fully coupled autopilot or flight director can fly the aircraft in any kind of weather conditions, and it makes it safer for us. So when we're task overloaded with all the information that we're doing on the battlefield, that can make our lives a lot easier, and you'll see that. So we can continue on forward. Some of the small improvements are not necessarily as easily seen. We talk about the blades. The blades are a wide chord, which means they're a wider blade.
Okay.
So improved capability of lifting. Much heavier loads. As you say, it's about 500 pounds per rotor blade increased lifting capacity compared to the old aircraft, which means they can put more durable equipment on the aircraft and make it stronger.
Okay.
So you'll see the winglets there, improved efficiency in flight. That downturn winglet just removes some of the aerodynamic forces that counteract the rotor system.
Okay.
What you can't see also is in the step fairing over here on the left-hand side is an active vibration system. It is basically a bunch of weights that spin in opposite direction of the micro vibrations that the aircraft produces that the human body can't feel. Essentially smooths the aircraft almost like it's a calm lake. That aircraft you'll feel every vibration, this one you won't. There are 6 active vibration systems in the aircraft, of which comprised of 3 vibration systems total. So 6 weight spinning systems. And that's based all around the aircraft. Again, small improvements in the cockpit as far as functionality. The cyclic trim, cyclic is a little bit different design. The collective is a little bit different design, and again, 4-axis, which means both the collective lifting and power. The cyclic, which does your directional control, and your tail rotor pedals. There's an autopilot system that can manage and control that to maintain level flight.
Okay.
Flight director is just an instrument panel, turns it from manual inputs to dialing or pushing buttons.
Okay.
It's kind of nice. One of the largest improvements is for the crew member seats. The crew seats now are what we call a Martin Baker brand. That is the name of it. It is a fully adjustable seat, both in the vertical, the horizontal, i.e. fore and aft, and also it rotates 180 degrees. So you can go from full face forward to all
How many people could this carry?
This can carry up to 11 fully mission-capable infantrymen.
And how many did that carry?
Same amount of people. The seating is a little bit different, though. The seats are a different quick-release seat. In that one, it had 4 points that it connected to the aircraft to include a shock-absorbing system. That shock-absorbing is now comprised in the entire seat, which means it's a quick release. Easily configured compared to the old ones. That would take about 30 to 35 minutes to reconfigure the aircraft to put cargo in. This one takes about 10. Significantly reduced. There's a specific order you have to put the seats in. They don't go in very easy. A lot of cables and other stuff. And that was the crash-worthy seats. Same thing with the Martin Bakers now. So crew members in the back can slide back. It's more comfortable for them because normally they would be smashed up against the airframe itself for them to be able to man the guns. Now with the new seat, they can push all the way up, and when they're not on the guns, they can push all the way back. I mean, there's more comfort for them. It's also a much safer seat. That seat is literally very crash resistant, almost to the same capability of the pilot seats, which are now improved with a weight system that is, each pilot has its own different weight. The spring shock absorbing system for a crash now is adjusted to the pilot's weight. Okay. Much nicer. Engines are improved. They have improved performance. You just can't see them in there, but it's very similar. Same engines can be put on each aircraft, but there's electronic components now in here that increase the efficiency of the engines. So it's a managed engine versus the old one, which was just a little bit less capable on the electronic management. Okay. Little few improvements is the step fairings on the outside now. It's much easier to climb up and down the aircraft from the back. Upturned exhaust is IR suppression, infrared suppression for enemy fire, enemy heat-seeking missiles and such. All the systems that were strap-on are now configured fully into the aircraft, and those are our IR countermeasures, such as chaff, flares, and stuff. All of that stuff is now, instead of being bolt-on, it is fully integrated into the airframe to include the wiring, which is a huge change. Radios. Biggest problem we had with the old aircraft was the radios. We now have the capability of talking on multi-band, and multiple radios. So we have 4 RTs, or receiver transmitters now. 2 of them are FM, 2 are multi-band, which means they can talk all the way from satellite through to FM. So that gives us capability of talking on 4 FM channels, 2 VHF channels, 2 UHF channels, 2 maritime, and 1 SATCOM. Immense over-the-horizon type of capability to be able to talk to our command and control elements that are not even remotely close to us on the line of sight radios. And now we can talk multi-aircraft on different radio frequencies. Huge improvement. Huh. Again, a lot of the stuff is like, this is a GPS antenna. That GPS antenna is redundant now. That's kind of some of the things. Is everything that was a single system or a 1.5 time system, it's now redundant. There's 2 of them. Because of the increased performance of the rotor system, we can put more on it. Tail rotor is no different, but it is, again, better gearboxes. And then this is the stabulator, which is what gives us stability and it maintains the aircraft in level flight. It's now a folding stabulator for transportability. Fully composite 3-piece system versus a multi-band system, so it's completely redesigned.
I see.
And it's a folding capability now, so that they can transport the aircraft without having to pull everything off as they used to. Aft avionics compartment. I don't want to show you up in there because it's a pain in the butt. But,
what is that?
That's the aft avionics compartment. So again, what's duplicated up front is in the back as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So basically now we have duplicate avionics.
What's the range on something like this?
About 300 miles is usually what it can do with its fully mission capable, fully loaded, and then again, we can do hot refueling, which means this aircraft can be refueled on the go, never shutting down, and theoretically you can fly it until it literally falls out of the sky. I mean, it is improved, battle hardened. It is an immensely capable aircraft. We were very proud of our Alphas and our Limas, and the Mike model just enhances our situational awareness on the battlefield. And in low weather, high dust, brownout conditions, as we like to refer to them, when you can't see, this gives us an added layer of protection and safety. I can tell you from being in the desert in Kuwait and Iraq, when you land in those unimproved areas, you can't see anything when you hit the ground. And it's kind of one of those moments where I had set myself on the landing profile, and I'm hoping that it's going to land with the wheels down on the ground. And it's a very rough landing, and this gives us basically that capability now that the autopilot could land this thing to the ground without my interaction at all. So if I can't see, I now don't have that fear factor of landing in an unapproved location. So, and that's what we do. You know, we take troops from one place to another to go fight the enemy, and that's our biggest boon is what we call air assault, putting troops forward of the line of troops or into enemy country and having them go affect the battlefield in a much further location. So.
See, 20 of these, is that the initial shipment, or is that how many will you eventually have?
The next 2 years we'll have 20.
Have 20 total.
Yeah.
And
then we have another company of our unit that's in Indiana, and they'll have 10, so a total of 30 airframes.
And these are based here in Columbus,
the 20 will be based here in this facility right here, and then the 10 will be over in Indiana.
I know you go out on the battlefield. Where else do these units get used? What other kind of stuff are you doing?
We do what's called utility, general support types of missions. So we do anything from cargo transport, personnel transport, external loads such as sling loads of equipment, fuel, anything. This aircraft is the minivan. I like to call it the Ferrari with trunk space because it is one of the most highly capable, maneuverable aircraft, high performance, but it has cargo space and can do any mission role. It's a multi-role aircraft, and there's just its capabilities are unlimited. There is no mission that we have not done. I've been on multiple tours of different countries and different mission roles, and we've done them all.